Good day, everybody online. It's Keith Martin, the Executive Director for the Consortium of Universities for Global Health, and welcome to our member webinar. The purpose of this webinar is for us to share a little bit with you about what the structure is of CUGH, what we're doing, some very exciting activities that we have that are taking place in the very near future, and to talk to you a little bit about, share with you the benefits that you have by being a member. And lastly, we're going to do a Q&A so we can learn a little bit more about how we can better serve you as a member of our organization. And I just want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend this particular webinar that we have now. So, as we know, was started in 2007. Our secretariat began in September 2012 here in Washington, D.C., and in this short period of time, since 2012 to now, we've nearly tripled in size, becoming more international. Our board of directors has diversified, and we have grown significantly in numbers as well as in activities. In fact, we have a network of some 20,000 people around the world who are involved in global health activities. So if you can see the first slide, which shows you a little bit about our structure, we have a board of directors, 15 board of directors. Our chair is Dr. Pierre Buchans, who's the Dean of Public Health at Tulane University. And we also have 5 ex officio positions. Those positions include representatives from the Centers for Disease Control, the National Institutes for Health, USAID, and the Canadian Consortium for Global Health Research. As you can see from the bottom of the slide, we have a very lean operation with 4 individuals here in Washington, D.C. We have the Director of Operations, Dalal Najjar, the Program Manager for Conference and Events, Karen Lamb, who has done so much work to organize this event, our Administrative Assistant, Bailey Poe, and myself. This is a list of our board of directors. As you can see, what's been very good, we've got a significant diversity in terms of location. We have, over the last few years, been able to increase our international representation, and we also have a diversity of skill sets. However, and you'll hear more about this later, we're in the midst of a board election, and 5 board positions are up for election. And we're certainly looking forward to attracting people, particularly with non-medical disciplines, to join our board. The CUGH structure, the backbone of our activities, are really our standing committees. And as you can see, we have 7 standing committees. And why they were created was really to give our members a mechanism and a vehicle upon which they can collaborate, share information, and work together. And one of the powers of CUGH really is our ability to act as a convener, as well as creating mechanisms for all of you and others to be able to work together in a multidisciplinary way to be able to address the global health challenges before us, and of course to strengthen academic global health programs within our members. We're always, as you'll see, we're trying to grow our membership. We have the 145 now, but there are a lot of institutions out there involved in global health that we'd like to attract to CUGH. So if you know institutions that may be interested in joining us or curious about joining us, please feel free to share with them our website so that they can join CUGH. We also have individual memberships that we just started a little over a year ago. So if a person is not part of an academic institution, or they're part of an institution that is not a CUGH member, individuals can join our consortium. We have, and this is something that people should know, is that if your institution is a member, every single person, faculty person, student, and administrator, is also a member of CUGH and has access to the benefits of membership that we'll get to later on. So as you go through those committees, we have an advocacy and communications committee that we work on in identifying important advocacy issues for our members. We have an education committee and I'll show you the subcommittees later on. Now, our Education Committee, chaired by Dr. Quinton Eichbaum from Vanderbilt, and prior to that, Dr. Sam Matheny from University of Kentucky, is our largest committee, and really is a very exciting vehicle for all of you to be able to strengthen your education programs, and also to be able to strengthen education and training in low to middle income countries. We have an Enabling Systems Committee that Ann Anderson and King Holmes co-chair. The Executive Committee, that's a small committee made up of CUGH's executive. A Finance Committee, our Membership Committee that's chaired by Richard Deckelbaum, and our Research Committee that's chaired by Dr. Liz Grant from Edinburgh University. So we encourage you to inquire about these committees, get involved, and see what they're doing, because we're only as strong as our ability to collaborate and work together. Now, as I mentioned, our Education Committee is our largest committee, and in order to make it more efficient to be able to work in the broad array of education issues that we face, it's grown to involve a total of 7 subcommittees, and you can see them there. Our Capacity Building Subcommittee is our newest subcommittee, and it is one that is going to be involved with working with our colleagues in low and low middle income countries to strengthen their training programs. It'll be a vehicle to connect our members with our colleagues in low to middle income countries, and being able to provide trainers, share curricula, and also provide evaluators. Our Conference Planning Subcommittee helps us with our conference. The Educational Products Subcommittee, which is co-chaired by Erica Frank and Lisa Adams, both of them and their team work to identify educational products that we share online. So I encourage you to take a look at our online activities and look at the educational products that they've identified. We're certainly interested in being able to attract educational products that our subcommittee can look at and post on our site, which is free for all to see and all to use. We have a Global Health Competency Subcommittee that Dr. Jessie Evert leads, and she's been doing some incredible work in publishing competencies in global health. In fact, I would certainly encourage you again to look at our website, because she and her team have really done some extraordinary work in really laying down some standards for competencies in global health. We have a Program Advisory Subcommittee that Dr. John Ripp leads, and he and his team are providing advisors and mentors to global health programs, and we've had a very successful first year, and they're now in their second year. We have a Global Health Workforce Subcommittee, and we have an Undergraduate Master's Subcommittee that also recently started. Our Training Advisory Committee, for all of you to know, this is a committee led by, comprised of students, and they're particularly focused obviously on student issues. They're looking at advocacy issues, as well as engaging with students across our membership and beyond, to be able to grow and create a network of students that are involved in global health. They also have a very exciting Global Health Day that they'll be doing on April the 6th at our conference next year. More about that later. For those of you who would like to know how we actually pay the bills and keep the lights on, we have a number of sources. Membership is the core of our funding. So your membership is really vital to the health and existence of CUGH. We have institutional membership and individual members. Academic institutions are the bulk of them, but we also have associations like the American Association of Veterinary Medical Colleges and others. We have a partner category. So non-academic institutions, NGOs, the private sector, associations can join CUGH, and we strongly encourage you to join with us, because it's really an ideal opportunity to be able to work with, collaborate with academic institutions and, in fact, with each other. We have also, as I mentioned, individual members, and it's worth noting that we have a graded membership fee. So high-income institutions, upper middle, lower middle, and low-income countries pay in descending order amounts that we hope enable to be affordable for your institutions. Our annual conference, we had a very successful conference this year in San Francisco, and we have our next year's conference, April 6th to 9th, 2016, here in Washington, D.C. So please take a look at our website, because we have a lot of important deadlines coming up in terms of abstract submissions and panel submissions. So please take a look at the website to find out more about our conference. And it's also to let you know that we have our conferences booked out to 2020, but more about that later. CUGH workshops coming up October 17th to the 19th here in Washington, D.C. We have a very, very important workshop, and it's a 3-day workshop on how to write effective grants for U.S. funding agencies and NICRA. It'll be run by Sustainability Solutions, and Dalal Najjar, our Director of Operations, has been doing a great job putting that together. It falls on a very successful workshop we had earlier this year, where we had 50 attendees, and we had a very positive response from them. So look at our website and sign up now. As an institution, you will benefit from sending 1 or 2 people from your institution to this workshop, October 17th to the 19th here in Washington. And it will really enable you to be able to write more effective grants to capture and secure funding from large U.S. Agencies involved in supporting global health. We receive a number of grants we've had some from the Rockefeller Foundation, and Dr. Tom Hall has been exceptionally generous, one of the leaders, and in fact the winner of our Distinguished Global Health Leader Award this year. Dr. Hall has had a long and distinguished service to global health and the world, and he has been very kind to provide us with a number of grants. We do receive donations, so on our website, anybody is free to, and we encourage folks who like our work, please donate on our website. We are a 501c3, so your donations in the United States are tax deductible. So we put the website down below, cugh.org. Please donate, and in fact, right now, we have a funding drive. That funding drive is going to help support our colleagues from low and middle income countries through travel scholarships, so they can come to our conference, present, engage, and learn, and share the work that they're doing. As everyone on this call knows, finances are a major obstacle for everyone, but it's particularly acute for our colleagues in low to middle income countries. So please help, please share, please donate, please encourage your colleagues to donate, and we can help our friends and colleagues from LMICs to come and attend our conference and share the great work that they're doing. This is just a short snapshot of our budget. In a nutshell, our revenues and expenses grown every year. The deficit has shrunk year over year. We have another approximately $55,000 to go to remove that deficit. The monies you see in terms of both revenues as well as expenses represent not only the operating expenses for our Secretariat, but all costs. And that includes the revenues and expenses to run our annual conference and our workshops and all the other activities we do. So that's why the amounts are what they are. That just shows you the revenue trends that we have. It's pretty self-explanatory. The purple represents other sources of revenue, as I mentioned before. Now, CUGH membership. And one of the things we've certainly found is that a lot of folks don't really know that everybody within their institution is a member of CUGH. So, for example, if a medical school or a nursing school or a school of public health pays to be a member, every single school in your institution is also a member. So I would encourage you, and this is something that as a member lead, we really hope you'll do, is when we're sending you information about CUGH, please share it widely with your engineering colleagues, nursing colleagues, social sciences colleagues, every other department, urban planning, geography. Please share that information with your colleagues. And that way, they who are involved in global health activities will also be able to come to our meetings, contribute to what we're doing. And it's been a little bit of an obstacle to try to get the non-medical community involved, but we need your help to do that. So it's a plea from us for you to do that, and we thank you in advance. We do have a members-only section on CUGH, and there are members-only opportunities. So, for example, only members can run for our board. There are discounts for members only. The members-only section on our website shares information about grants and jobs, and others who are not members do not have access to that. The discounted rates, as I mentioned, to our conference, only institutional members can in fact contribute to panels for our conference and the content within the conference. I'll leave the rest of alone, but I would just draw attention to the fact that we have as I mentioned, the Mentoring for Global Health programs that Dr. Jonathan Ripp runs, and that is a member benefit. This year, we created a seal for CUGH, and that seal is available only for members, and we certainly encourage you to use that seal on your correspondence if you can. It shares with the world that you're a member of CUGH, and certainly helps us to spread the word about the work that we're doing and the work that you're doing. So, as I've mentioned, our website is www.cugh.org. We've done this year is we created quite an important map. That map will show you where the academic global health programs are. And it's open to everybody, but only members can actually be posted on that. So it's an excellent way to become a member, and by doing so, you'll join that database for all to see, and it's a mechanism for you to share your programs with others. We have the educational products that are important, reports, events, important papers. We also have a series of awards. Some are open, but most are closed to CUGH members, and they're given out at our conference next year. It'll be, as I said, in April in Washington. Jobs, funding opportunities are there. We also will be creating a capacity building site that, as I mentioned, our subcommittee for capacity building that Dr. Andrew Dykins and Dr. Anvar Belgi have done an incredible job on. And others, Dr. Tom Hall and Jess Ebert. So that's going to be a site that will enable us to connect our members with the opportunities to train and strengthen educational programs in LMICs. We're also having a research questions site where people can post research questions. Non-members will be charged to do that, but it certainly is a way to be able to post research questions that our members can look at and apply to you to be able to answer those questions and do the research that is required. That's an excellent place, in fact, for the private sector to post their research questions, because you'll get high-quality research at a lower price than you would in other venues. Upcoming activities. Well, I mentioned the workshop, October 17th to the 19th. We're also going to run potentially a number of other workshops on minority serving institutions with the Global Health Fellows Program, a program that's been an excellent partner for CUGH over the years. So the Global Health Fellows Program, too, has worked with us on finding ways to engage with minority serving institutions. They've also done excellent work on the field of what employers are looking for in global health, and much, much more. We also hope to do one on emergency and risk management coming up in the new year. But those are those are workshops that we are working on now, and stay tuned for the first quarter of next year. Upcoming webinars, as you can see below, on global health competencies, global health law, and much more. Our conferences, one of the things we found is that now that we've grown quite significantly over the years, our conference attracted, as you can see, over 1,800 participants from around the world in San Francisco. So what we had to do is we planned out well in advance. So as you can see from this slide, we've really locked down our conferences for 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. So next year, our conference in Washington, D.C. will be co-hosted by Johns Hopkins University and the Dean of Nursing, Dr. Trish Davidson, along with Dr. Nelson Siwankambo, who is the former principal of Makerere University in Uganda. And in fact, next year is the first year that we have a co-chair from an LMIC. And what we have decided to do is to find ways in which we can engage our colleagues in LMICs. From now on, every year, CUGH's annual conference will be co-chaired by an institution in an LMIC. Next year's conference, as you can see, the panel submissions, and I'll draw your attention down to the fourth point, are October 1st, 2016. That's the deadline. To submit panels, please go on the website to do so. Abstract submissions are October the 12th. That's the deadline. And I need to know that one of the exciting things and two of the enduring and valued collaborations we have is that the Lancet Global Health publishes all of the oral presentations, and the Annals of Global Health publishes the poster presentations, which amount to respectively about 30 and nearly 500 respectively. So we're extremely grateful to Zoe Mullen at the Lancet Global Health and Dr. Phil Landrigan at the Icahn Mount Sinai School of Medicine for their incredible support for this activity. And it's a great benefit. So if you're selected, we should have about 500 abstracts that we will select and then 30 oral abstracts. Please submit, and you'll have the added benefit of being published in both of these superb journals. On April the 6th, 2017, we have a job fair. This is the first time we're holding it, and we're holding it in conjunction with the Global Health Council, and we're very grateful for their collaboration and hard work on that. We're looking to have about 50 employers of those involved in global health. Not only those who are new graduates, but importantly people who are working in the field now, mid-career individuals. It'll be free to attend, but people will have to register. So if you are an employer of global health graduates, if you're involved in global health, please send Karen Lamb, who's our project manager for our conference and events, an email with a request to be a vendor at the conference job fair. Again, it's the day before our conference, and you'll have about 5 to 6 hours, and it'll be an excellent opportunity to meet prospective employees. We have a limited number of spots, so it's a first-come, first-served basis. So please, again, email Karen Lamb and share this with others who are involved in hiring global health graduates. Satellite sessions. Every year, the day before our conference, we have satellite sessions, which are rooms that can fit up to 200 people, or even larger ones that can fit up to 400 people. And these satellite sessions are 4 hours, half day, or 8 hours, full day sessions that you can get more deeply involved in a big global health challenge. So for example, for 3 years, we have had a global cancer day with the National Cancer Institute. We've had sessions on the global health security agenda, on enabling systems, on workforce issues, and much more. So if you would like to have a satellite session on a big issue, an issue that requires a few hours to get involved in, an important workshop, please send us a note at our website, and we would be delighted to do that. Again, spots are are limited. So please drop us a line and get your name in early so we can secure a spot for you. We also, at our conference for the last 3 years, we've had a wonderful relationship with the Bulletin Center for Crisis Reporting, and they've run an excellent communications workshop. We had about 250 people attending it this year, and we will hold one again with them next year. We have again had a Global Health Film Festival where we show gripping short documentaries on big issues. And again, we do this in conjunction with the Pulitzer Center that shows award-winning documentaries that are gripping and informative. April the 6th, for the second year in a row now, we're going to run a Student Global Health Day. And our student advisory group, the TAC, is working with representatives from the institutions locally to run a Student Global Health Day by and for them. So stay tuned for more information about that. So we have a number of awards, as I mentioned before, the 3 CUGH awards. We have the Dr. Anwar and Parvi Belgi Awards, 4 of those, and we're extremely grateful for Dr. Anwar and Parvi Belgi for their enduring contribution and support for these awards. The Global Health Now competition we run with Johns Hopkins, which is a competition to identify a missing and neglected global health issue. So this will be the 3rd year that we're running it. We get about 180 submissions, and for the last 2 years, we have established through Johns Hopkins a relationship with National Public Radio, and they do a story on one of the top 2 winners. We have a global health video competition, and the purpose of this was to find ways in which those working in global health could share their work in short 5-minute videos that would be powerful and attractive, informative, inspiring. And we have that competition in 2 areas, innovation and advocacy. So please take a look at our website. Please submit your short videos. We then share them at the conference, and we also keep them up on our website for all to see. And it's really a superb way to be able to have an impact and share the information you're doing, but communicate it in a powerful visual way. With Global Health Science and Practice, a journal, we run a competition with them now for the 2nd year in a row, and please stay tuned for more information about that. And then every year we run a reflections essay contest that is done with CFHI Loyola and the University of Pittsburgh. We're very grateful for their support, and these essays are often gripping, they're inspiring, they're powerful, and we certainly encourage you to submit to them and also attend the session when you are coming to our conference. I mentioned the student activities that we're having, the Global Health Day, and one thing that the TAC, our student group, are doing is that they've developed quite cleverly a student ambassador program which will help those individuals to connect broadly across their institutions and connect back to CUGH. Students are represented on all of our committees and subcommittees. They're also, as I mentioned, working on advocacy issues, such as the pressing problem of access to affordable education and the colossal challenge of student debt. It's a great chance for networking, and as I mentioned, the campus representative program. Of late, we've been trying to find ways in which we can collaborate, as I mentioned before, more effectively with our colleagues in low to middle income countries. So this year, a group of us was privileged to attend the annual meeting of the Medical Education Program, Nursing Education Program Initiative Principal Investigators in Nairobi. And out of that meeting, because the funding for MEPI-NEPI is over, was born AfriHealth, the African Forum for Research in Education and Health. It's comprised of leaders from across the continent involved in this area. And in our conversations with the leadership of AfriHealth, what we've done in our team is we're going to work with them in terms of identifying trainers, curricula, and evaluators and our capacity building subcommittee in the Education Committee is going to take a leadership role in that. We're also going to find ways which we can provide a group for grant writing and manuscript help. And again, we have the travel scholarships and we were having another proposal to our members for high-income country, low-income country membership sponsorship. So if you're a high-income country working with an institution in a low-income country, that institution is not a member of CUGH, we're encouraging our high-income country members to sponsor a low-income country member institution to join CUGH. It's very inexpensive, and it's really be a great way for our high-income country institutions to sponsor their colleagues so they can become part of CUGH and share what they're doing with us and work with us to deal with challenges of common interest. I'll just skip this one for now. As I mentioned before, we are convening potentially minority serving institutions in the new year. We may have a mentorship program taking place, and we're also engaging with. We did a survey with minority serving institutions that the Global Health Fellows Program 2 funded to identify what are MSIs doing, what are their needs, where are they located. So we know that minority serving institutions have not been an engaged part of global health. We want to find out what the obstacles are that they're faced with and identify ways which we can work with them to overcome those obstacles. We have right now, as I mentioned, board elections for CUGH. There are 5 positions that are open. The nomination deadline is October the 11th. Please share this with your colleagues, and particularly those who you think would be good candidates to sit on our board. And you can submit your nominations through the nominations link on this email. You can self-nominate, or you can nominate someone else. But if you're nominating someone else, please make sure that they would like to do this. So how to join CUGH? Again, if you're an institution, go to our website, please, and join our organization. If you're an individual, wherever you may come from, if you're involved in global health, if you're in an NGO, if you're in the private sector, if you're in an association, if you are retired, and you've been involved in global health, please take out an individual membership. It's very inexpensive. So I thank you very much for your attention. What I'm going to do is just flip to the screen that's going to show some questions. And I would like to just share these questions with you. I mean, a few of the things that obviously we're very gripped with is what activities and products would add value to your membership? What things do we do that are most valuable to you and least? And we'd like to seek your guidance on how we can increase engagement across your campus. And of course, anything else, any other advice you'd like to give us. So I will stop there and open it up to your questions, welcome them. And again, I'd like to thank you for being on this call. And the opportunity now is for you to share those questions with us. So, Kathleen Ellis has written, is there a way to develop, and thank you Kathleen for your question, is there a way to develop a list that shares the sites, countries that institutions have a strong presence in? The reason I ask is that it would be nice to better connect with universities working in certain countries. Kathleen, that is an excellent question. We tried that a few years ago, and we didn't get a good response back. For anybody on this call, we would love to be able to find a way in which we can, which our members and non-members can at least share where they are, what they're doing, and we will post that on our website. But again, we didn't get a great deal of response. I think we have to figure out a way to incentivize people to do this, but we're very interested in finding a way in which we can share the work that everybody's doing on a useful website that would enable others to know what each other are doing in the countries they're in. We've all heard the stories of people bumping into others at the airport that they know well and being quite surprised that in fact they're working in the same country as them and in fact could be working in a very similar area. Any other questions at all right now? Please feel free to send them in. If you are interested in any ideas and contributing to CUGH on what we ought to be doing at any time, please feel free to drop us an email about what those ideas are. As I mentioned, we're only as good as our ability to serve you, and we're always trying to find ways in which we can do that. So one of the conference we have the webinars, we have workshops, we have those activities we do in conjunction with our committees. We're posting material on our site that we hope will be useful for you in your development of your programs. We'll be having upcoming Global Health 101 courses, and we're also sharing ways in which you can teach your course more effectively, and our subcommittees in our education committee are working very hard on that. If you are coming through Washington, D.C., please feel free to let us know, and we'd love to meet you. Our actual location is about a mile north of the White House, and right next to, right at 16th and Rhode Island, across from the Australian Embassy. So we certainly encourage you to please give us a call and drop by if you can. We have a question about our conference from Catherine Taylor. Thank you, Catherine, for your question. Catherine's question is, how many scientific and symposium sessions will be associated with open requests for submissions? In the past, we've had about 6 or 7, but we've expanded this, Catherine, to at least 15. So we've almost over doubled the size of it. We could potentially increase that even more. But at this point in time, we have 15 sessions that are open for people to submit. I have to say that while the conference's theme is healthy people, healthy ecosystems, we have 6 sub-themes within the conference. And what we try to do is to encourage and make sure that the panels that we show are going to be representative of those 6 themes. So if we get 80% of our panels are all infectious disease ones, we're not going to have 80% of the panels being on infectious diseases. I have to say that one of the challenges that we've had is to attract panels from non-medical disciplines. So we would love to be able to attract panels on planetary health, One Health, environmental sustainability. We would love to attract panels on urban planning, on human rights and law. And in fact, with our friends at the O'Neill Institute at Georgetown University, we're going to have a panel on global health law. To give you an indication of the kind of breadth, because oftentimes we find that when we talk about global health, people tend to automatically go to medicine as being the de facto subject matter that we cover. But in fact, because CUGH is determined to be able to bring together people across disciplines, recognizing that it is an interdisciplinary approach that's going to enable us to address the challenges that affect the health of people and the health of our planet, we try to ensure that the panels have diversity. Diversity, actually, it's gender neutral, so both men and women on the panel. And also that there are disciplines represented from medical and non-medical disciplines, and that we have individuals not only from high-income countries, but very importantly, individuals from low-income countries. So to get your panel moving further up, one of the things you can do is to ensure that you have panelists from low-income countries, as well as ensuring that the panel subject matter is non-medical. We have an abundance of medical panels, which is great, but we also want to attract non-medical panels that deal with non-medical issues, but issues that are important to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals in the future. So, as an example, this morning I was on a call with an organizer of a panel that we're doing on the refugee crisis globally. So we're going to run a panel on the refugee crisis, looking at it in different ways. We'll also potentially have a panel on that we're working with Professor Rubenstein from Johns Hopkins, but with many others who will be talking about the crisis and the targeting of healthcare workers in conflict. So we really encourage you to take a look at bringing in panels that are not specifically medical, but do represent other disciplines. I have to say that panelists do not have to be CUGH members at all, and they can be from anywhere, particularly non-governmental organizations, INGOs, private sector, as well as, of course, academia. So Virginia Rowthorne, Virginia Rowthorne asked to promote, to let us know about, let you know again about the Reflections Essay Contest that we have. Virginia, thank you very much for that. Karen Lamb, who's doing an excellent job of running our webinars as well as our other events. Karen has sent a link to everybody on this audience about the Reflections Essay Contest. Please share that with students and faculty. As I said, we do receive every single year really inspiring essays from individuals, members involved in global health. And it's really inspiring to listen to their essays about their personal experiences in global health. So Virginia, thank you very much for all of your support for CUGH and also that question. I have to say that Virginia is a lawyer who's been very involved in global health and has worked with us to deal with a broad range of challenges. So she's a clear example of how we would like to attract top-notch, superb individuals working in global health that are not only in medicine and nursing, but also are involved in non-medical disciplines. Again, I would just encourage you to please feel free to send your questions through on the site that are there. I have to also say that CUGH wouldn't operate without the very hard work of our small staff here. We have not increased our staff since we opened up in 2012. We have Dalal Najjar, who does this outstanding job as our Director of Operations, making sure that everything moves forward and all the things that we're doing. Karen Lamb, who does an outstanding job of working on and making sure that our conference events, webinars, and such are organized and are executed. And Bailey Poe, who is just joined us recently as our new admin assistant. And Bailey is, of course, the point person when you call CUGH, and she's doing an excellent job for us. We have a bulletin that goes out every single month, and Bailey puts that together. And in that bulletin, that all 20,000 people in our network receive, we will feature our members in that. So if you are a member and you'd like to feature your institution in our bulletin that we share around the world, please feel free to send us a short paragraph about your institution and the link about something happening in your institution, about your institution, that we can share. In that bulletin that everybody on this call should receive, we have funding opportunities, important reports that are taking place. We will share funding, funding opportunities, job opportunities, conferences. We have the Triangle Consortium Global Health Conference coming up in October. We have the Global Burden of Disease 2015 report that's going to come out next week that our friends at the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation put out. Watch out for that next week. It's going to be a seminal report following on their superb Global Burden of Disease 2010 report that they had put together. Please make sure that that bulletin, we send it to you, but its power and its effectiveness is only as good as the number of people that see it. So please, when you do receive that bulletin, we would be extremely grateful if you could share that bulletin across your institution and throughout your networks. That is the best way for us to share what you're doing, what our members are doing, and what CUGH is doing. So thank you very much for doing that. And again, particularly not only through the medical and nursing faculties, but also please share that bulletin with non-medical faculty, students, departments. It's an ongoing challenge for us to attract them. You speak to them about the work that they're doing, and some of them think that CUGH is only for medicine, only for nursing. Well, couldn't be further from the truth. We are an organization whose mission is to use an interdisciplinary approach across research, education, service, and advocacy to deal with the global health challenges before us, in particular to improve outcomes for those who are least privileged in our world. So please feel free again to send in any questions that you may have. We have only 13 minutes left in this webinar, and we'd like to be able to get through as many of them as possible. One of the things we're doing I can share with you for our conference next year is that we are working on hopefully being able to attract some of those running to be the Director General of the World Health Organization. So we're trying to get those individuals as speakers. We will also have a number of Lancet Commission reports that are coming out soon, and we will be featuring those at our conference and through our conference app. So for example, there's an outstanding Lancet Commission on Pollution, Health, and Development that is co-led by Dr. Phil Landrigan at the Icahn School of Medicine in New York, and Rich Fuller, who's the president of Pure Earth. And that commission is going to deal with the neglected challenge of pollution and its impact upon health, people's health, and planetary health. We're also, there'll be the Global Health Law Lancet Commission that will be coming out, as well as one on NCDs. And our friends over at the O'Neill Institute and Professor Larry Gostin and his team and others are going to be sharing that document with us at the conference. There'll also be an NCD Lancet Commission, and other special reports are coming out. Our friends at CSIS, Dr. Steve Morrison and his team, will be putting out a very important document on young women and girl child, as well as one on maternal health. So that document and that report will be released in the new year, and we will certainly be sharing that with Dr. Morrison and his team from CSIS. One of the other areas that we'll be having will be on global health diplomacy, and talking about the power of global health diplomacy as a way to deal with important challenges, and bringing in political scientists and others. There'll be global leaders from across different international institutions at our conference too. So that'll be very, very exciting. Again, if you'd like to sponsor our conference, either as an institution or as an individual, Because as I said, if you sponsor a conference, it's a tax deduction. Please go onto our website and you'll be able to see the ways in which you can sponsor our conference. So go on the CUGH website, click in the CUGH 2017 conference, and you'll see a menu of sponsorship opportunities there. Again, those sponsorships are tax deductible, but you'll be helping us to be able to put on a conference that grows better and better every single year. You can see that on your control panel, 5 handouts, and those handouts will be able to enable you to connect with all of those 5 opportunities that we've spoken about here on this particular webinar. Again, I would encourage you to please share these particular opportunities across your institution, not only within your department, but across your institution, and share it widely outside of your institution so we can attract those who are involved in global health to contribute to and participate in our conference. Our conference is not for members only, but in fact, as a member, you receive a discount to attend the conference, and as a result, your costs will be lower. We try to keep our costs low every single year. Please, if you can, encourage your students, faculty to submit abstracts to the conference. Abstracts are open for all, and any person, member or non-member, can contribute an abstract to the conference. So please take those 5 handouts that Karen has added, and please share those widely with your colleagues, with your members, and others. So if there aren't any other questions, we will end this webinar. And again, on behalf of all of us here at CUGH, on behalf of our board of directors, with big thanks to Karen Lamb, who put this webinar on. I want to thank you for joining this webinar, and please feel free to send us your questions when they come to mind in the future. We were very interested to know how we can serve you in a more effective manner, so your ideas on what we can do and how we can serve you are much appreciated. So thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you either at our workshop next month, at our webinars, or at our conference in Washington, D.C. Bye-bye for now.